actually. So, based on these team comps, just looking at this up front, both teams actually have really good comps. The front line on their side is the Garen Vi, which is incredible engage potential. Also, if you're going to lock cameras, how do we do that? Yep. Directed cam. We're going to watch it. But yes, just looking at the comps are pretty good. Both teams have strong front lines. They have strong CC in the Vi, decent bruiser tankiness in the Garen. They got good mid lane CC and burst. They have Caitlyn, who's a strong early game and strong late game AD carry, and Yuumi, who's just stupid. So first things first, I would recommend. I imagine, like, I do this too sometimes when I'm going to get a drink or something. I sit under turret, but my recommendation is always hang out here. It gives vision for your team. It ensures that I've been in more than one game where we invade and steal the enemy red buff because nobody's here to protect it. In this case, the Syndra's here, so I guess it doesn't matter. And the enemy team didn't invade, so no harm, no foul. But in general, I'd say sit here. Again, obviously, I've done it too where I need to go to the bathroom or something, and I went here first. Yeah. Show items. Yes. How do I do that? Aha. Aha. There we go. So let's see. First things first. So you're walking up to lane late. You've put your first point in E. This is a specific choice. Ah, good start. Yeah. You're not moving around enough. That's one thing I'm going to say. You should always be moving between autos. Wow, he's dead if you have flash. He's just dead. Yeah. This is what starting E level 1 can do. But in this case, the Garen took a fight he never should have taken. Also, why stop doing that? Why does it keep changing that? Man. I guess that doesn't do anything. E-Star Garen. It's not... E-Star Garen isn't bad if he could get the whole thing on you, which he did. The mistake he had was thinking that he can beat Urgot level 1 who starts E. Like, he could potentially beat an Urgot level 1 that starts double E, but not one that starts E. The one that starts E gets a full second of hard CC, gets a shield, and gets extra opportunities to hit you with shotguns. The Garen just overcommitted. Now you're level 2. Yeah, this is just bad. He's dead. Oh, wait. You just hit 3. Wow. Lucky him he didn't die. This Garen is playing terribly. You're doing pretty well here. Again, one thing I'm going to say is, in general, you need to be moving around a lot. Get into the habit of constantly moving your character around. Like, this is something you see me doing all the time, is I'm constantly moving left, right, just to keep myself moving. It keeps you active. It makes you more responsive. Oh, he's dead. Also, you need to... this is something else. Like, after you land your E, it's okay to fire an auto off before you press W, but you need to be responsive on those Ws. Like, you're waiting too long to press W. That's damage that's getting lost. These are all minor things, though, because in the end, you're doing really, really well here. More that the Garen's playing really badly, but you are taking advantage of the Garen's mistakes, which I can only say is really good. Also, in this case, I'm not sure... Oh, wow. This is also going to work. Wow. And you got double buff out of that. Very nice. Good rotation. Good vision on the river. Good job helping out. Urgot level 1 pretty strong, yes. Urgot level 1 and Urgot level 2 are both very, very strong. That's the reason why this is working. So let's see what he's going to buy. So you started with Duran's Blade. This is a more aggressive start. And it makes sense that you would be starting Duran's Blade and E first, because that's how you get kills early on. That's how you get... That's the reason why I got the level 1 kill. If you started Cull, it probably would not have been as easy a kill, because you would have had 80 less health, and although the healing's superior, it takes a few Ws to make up for it. And wow, you're going lethality. You're going like heavy carry. The one thing I can say, though, that I don't like about this choice is that the enemy team has 2 frontliners that are really tanky. Both of these guys will have a lot of armor by the end of the game, and lethality is not very helpful against them. And in general, again, Urgot is not a champion that, in general, carries games. It's much harder to carry games in Urgot. And lower ELOs, which this probably is, it's not that difficult. You can definitely carry games on him. But in general, you want to look at what your real win conditions are on your team. Varus is a win condition. Syndra is a win condition. Both of these champions can carry games. So you want to be playing around them just by default. And if you have no choice, you go carry. Also, what you're doing here, you're missing out on all this farm and experience. But then again, I guess you're killing them, so... Worth. I didn't realize he's fucking level 3. Poor guy. He is in a massacre lane right now. And the fact that you did go this lethality option just makes it so much easier to kill him again. You're going for a snowball build, and it's working. This is something I never do, but, I mean, in your case, this is absolutely a great call. You heard that Yuma's is really good versus Garen when ahead. Interesting. That's not something I've specifically heard. But yeah, this Garen is just crushed. Your level 6, you could dive him right now, actually. If you land your E, he's dead. That's how bad the situation is for him. You've got all your shotguns. You literally could just E him right now, press R, and potentially kill him. I like what you're doing, though, here is softening him up first. Which, by the way, which rune? You took PTA. Good call. PTA for early snowballing. And if you're going to be doing this E level 1 and Duran's Blade start, this is what you do. You go PTA, you look for that aggressive level 1 all in, you try to get the kill, and you just snowball off of it. At this point, you can't even walk up to farm. The only issue here is that you're still shoving, but you've got a 20 CS lead, and like I said, you could dive him right now. You can easily hit him with a shotgun, a Q, and then E, he's dead. He's just dead. But you want to be saving your shotguns for him. Like right now, you're burning too many shot. Oh, let's see. Ah, the timing is off. No, you're still gonna win it. Also, you could have killed her too. You didn't need to run away. She's level 5. You're level 7. After you got that execute, you could have fought her and potentially killed her too. That was a misplay. There are 2 slight mistakes that were done here. First, your E. Your E very rarely will overwhelm enemy mobility with hard CC. Like it against Camille Hookshot, against Vi Q, against Quinn Vault, against all those abilities. If you E into them and they're dashing towards you, their dash will overwhelm yours. In this case, what you needed to do was hold your E just a little bit longer. You wanted to time your E for when she connected with you. If you did that, you definitely would have killed them both. 16 CS in 8 minutes. Yeah, this Garen is crushed. He's completely, utterly crushed. He will be useless for his team. The fact that Vi came and ganked for him was a horrible mistake. The Garen was 2 levels behind the Urgot. Oh my. That was potentially a killer. I like that you dropped the ward in that brush, and I like that you teleported to it. But in this case, I feel like it would have been better if you waited until the lane was pushing a little further, then TP there. There's less chance he'd spot it. Because remember, your teleport is fully visible if somebody has their camera on screen. So if you're teleporting here, my screen's here, I won't see the teleport. But if you're teleporting here and my screen's here, I will see it. So in this case, you probably should have waited until the Garen had pushed a little further, teleported here, and you could have gotten him, and he might not have even seen it. In which case, not even a flash might have saved it. And yes, I am coaching right now, so. But yeah, so continuing what I was saying earlier, against this Vi, what you wanted to do was wait for her Q to connect, and time your E. Like basically, once her dash started, that's when you wanted to press it. If you had timed it then, at that moment, oh, the flashy and he's dead. Yep. Easy dive. Easy dive. This was the sort of thing I was actually expecting earlier when you were level 6 and he was level 3. I was expecting you to do something like that earlier. But great. Perfect execution. He didn't see it coming and he was dead before you could do anything. Fantastic. And right now, that's the thing. You've got 6 kills to your name. My suggestion would be focus the turret. And yeah, you're doing the 3 W's auto. Very good. And there goes this turret. So now that this turret is down, I'm going to give my recommendation before I see what you do. That recommendation would be, now you want to help your other lanes. Your bot lane's 0-4. You've just crushed this lane. My suggestion would be, after you push this Rift Herald in, rotate to bot lane. Maybe even tell your bot lane to swap. Oh god, Garen's dead again. So. Oh, no he's not. Ah, that Luxor. The Luxor, and I'm guessing the Garen W saved his life there. Yeah. No, that was not not an ideal call. It's crazy, you're level 9, but like you didn't have you had a lot of golden items on you. What you needed to do there was push that Rift Herald in, then leave. That's what you needed to do. Because at this point you'd expended your R earlier, you didn't have it up. Your your Olaf is doing okay, but even then, you're deep in enemy territory. Lux could be rotating, you don't know. Lux R can hit you anyways, even if she's not rotating. It wasn't worth the added risk, and you just gave them a shutdown. And in fact, did it go to the Garen? Who did it go to? The shutdown went... Billy, that was their jungler, actually. Okay. You don't have teleport right now. That's good. Your team's making headway here. Oh, yeah, they're making lots of headway. That's good. Good, so you're not even needed down here right now. Oh, that was close. But yeah, right? Oh, the Garen's teleporting out, then you should just take this turret. Since you can't teleport after him, you should just take the turret. So gold per player. How do I do that? How do I see gold? Whoa! I want to be paying attention to this. Maybe it's cheap. Nope. Oh, I can ping. That's cool. I guess if other people are in the game. How do I see the gold graph? I'm sure there must be a hotkey for this. Anybody know what it is? Hotkeys. There we go. So, interface. Show scoreboard. Toggle gold. Where's gold? You can see the gold difference at the top. No, but we can see the individual gold bars, and I'm curious to see that. Spectator scoreboard items X. Would that do it? There it is. So looking at the gold graph, oh my god. Look at that gold lead. 3k gold lead on Urgot. Did you just die again? Oops. Hold on, I want to see what happened. So let's see what happens. Free kill, yep. Free kill, you take a couple turret shots. Excellent. Let's see what happens after. So killing their Lux is good. Right now, just looking at the enemy, looking at the team comps, both teams are pretty even in gold, except top lane is basically your team's advantage. Oh no. You stepped on the trap, and there's Yumi. Little bit greedy. That was a bit greedy. You didn't know where the enemy team was. You didn't have vision. That was a very greedy thing to do. Very greedy thing to do. Not saying I wouldn't have done it myself, but you only had Syndra to back you up, and you didn't know where the enemy team was. Sure, Lux was dead, but that was a little bit greedy. You are fed. You need to take care with that gold lead. So once again, at this point in the game, you're incredibly fed. You've taken both top lane turrets. You should rotate bot lane. With teleport coming up soon, that gives you the ability to pressure other objectives and take this turret. It's not like the enemy team right now needs to send at least 3 people to kill you. that means that you are perfectly situated to going mid lane and telling your team, hey guys, go mid. I'll pressure bot lane and I can teleport in. Mawson's never afraid to fight and sacrifice. So let's see what you're building. So you went Yumu's, you're then going into Death Stance. Fair enough. Personally, though, in your case, I would have just gone full lethality. Not... Like, if you're already going for this sort of lethality start, I just keep going lethality. Because one lethality item doesn't help that much. What you really want to do is stack the benefits. He's dead. Yeah, that was... The Garen is playing very badly. At this point, you can anybody who gets near you, you can casually kill like basically, if you land your E, the target's dead. You're very strong at this point. How much for the? It's 10k points, and we're doing 2 of them on Fridays, and potentially 2 1v1s on Fridays. So if you want to do that, that's also available. Really like Edge, but not as a first item, probably. So right now you're heading towards top lane. This is a little bit of a weird thing here. You're going to grab a wave, but right now your team's mid and threatening an inhibitor turret. You're the person with the most gold on. You're the person with the most gold on your team. You should stick with your team. It's not worth it to rotate up and get a wave or 2 of farm when you can stick with your team. You are your team's gold right now. Remember, look at the gold graph right now. You are nearly 9k gold. Everyone else on your team is essentially even, except I guess the Syndra's now very far ahead. But you should stay with them. It's something I don't necessarily do all the time, but being able to look at this objectively, which does remind me actually, what am I doing? I should have Fog of War. How do I set vision? Don't want to see vision of the enemy team. Like Fog of War to red team. It's better to look at it not from full vision. And I'm sorry, I should have been doing this from the beginning. It'll protect you from Garen Q by Q and Lux root. And no CPR. It's only 10% at this point, yeah. Edge of Night is a really strong item. And again, if you're going lethality, fantastic choice. I mean, this isn't bad either. Going Yumu's Death Stance. Yumu's gives you the movement speed that you kind of want out of Righteous Glory. It doesn't give you the slow, which kind of sucks, but you can get away with going this Yumu's Death Stance if your Garen's dead. Did you just throw your R at? I'm a little confused as to who you just threw the R at. Was it a whiff on the Garen? Because that happens. And once again, you should be joining your team. Like, this is a good objective to take, sure, but your team is chasing for kills. You should be there. You showed up at the tail end of it. Which means now you should take the turn. Like right now, it's kind of crazy. You guys have a huge lead. This is a massive 6k gold lead. A lot of it on you. Which is kind of a problem, because again, you want your 80 carry in mid... Oh. That flash E. Uh-oh. Now you're dead. A little too aggro. I think you know what you did wrong there. That was... oh, what the hell? There were 2 mistakes that were made there. One was that your range was off, which is a really big mistake in this case because you need to be extremely accurate about your E range. And if you're going to commit your flash, you need to be even more accurate. So dead. Oh, yep, so dead. Or Syndra will save you and then die. Oh! Explode the... Oh dear. Well, this is so bad. It's not gonna work. Oh my god, it worked! But the Varus ran. Yumi is just gonna hop over the wall, isn't she? Ooh. so bad. Your teammates are making some really questionable decisions, and the Varus shouldn't be running. He should have been fighting. He could have won that. The Varus should not have ran. He couldn't run. He needed to fight. He would have won. He would have gotten the kill. Also, you just wait, hold up. I want to see this. Where did you teleport to? So the fighting's going on. You're in base. Your teleport's up. You could teleport here. You're still not teleporting. Why have you not teleported? Like right now, this would be the moment to teleport. To discourage the Vi from going in. It's just too late. It's just too late. Wait, where are you teleporting? Wow, that's weird. It doesn't show teleports on the replay. But yeah, this was something where you could have saved a life and potentially gotten a kill by teleporting the moment the Vi headed over this ward. No cash for review. I'm willing to accept cash for reviews. That's fine. If you don't have points, that's fine. I can do that. I'm easy. You can pay me $1, maybe $2. I think the way we need to go about this is that 1,000 points is like $1. Let's say that. So it's about $10 for a coaching game. Either that or get points. It's free. Just watch my stream and you can make it free. Oh, that flash. But yeah, you missed your E, you missed your R. Happens. Oh, wow, the Olaf just threw away a kill. He'll still get it. I think he still got it. And you should have been following the entire time. You stopped to farm the wave. You should have been sticking with the Olaf. He didn't need the help, thank goodness. But you should have stuck with him. I mean, you don't have Ghost and you don't have Glory. And you also didn't have your Yumu's proc up. So I guess chasing was not going to work out. But I would still would have followed the Olaf just in case an opportunity did show himself. Wow. Wow. Nicely done there. Perfect E timing. Perfect call. That was excellent. Really excellent. Go pay me a Jack skin. No thank you. Even if the Jack skin retailed for $10, I wouldn't want it. I don't want to give Riot money. There's an inhib. Jesus Christ, you guys have 2 inhibs. How do you lose this game? Your team is... Oh. Your team's only up 3 kills... Excuse me. Your team's only up 4 kills and 4k gold. The 2 inhibs... Oh my god, that fucking healing. Disgusting. Wow, that healing's disgusting. That was really nice. The Nautilus, not a kill. That Garen W, man. That Garen W. Oh no, she's dead. The overcommitment. Your teammates are making some questionable decisions. Again, overcommitment. The Nautilus should not have gone for that. And this is a big problem. Their Caitlyn's strong. This, I think, is going to be your team's downfall. The fact that the Caitlyn is strong and your Varus just... He's not really getting off the ground. Look at the Caitlyn gold, too. The Caitlyn's up 1,000 gold. Your gold leads 4k at this point, which is outrageous. I'm also kind of curious what you're trying to do. I would have just rushed the Cleaver. Like, I don't know why you got the Caulfield's Warhammer as well. I guess for the CDR, but then why not just get Kindle Jet? Oh my god. Yeah, the Caitlyn Yuumi is going to be such a problem. And the Vi is going to be another... Oh, you're dead. Yeah, you're definitely dead. But at least it resulted in a traded kill, and the kill went to the Varus, which is really good. Thing is, oh god, the Varus walked right over that. Oh, it's a slaughter. Yeah, one of the big issues I can see here right now is that your team's not playing like a team. This is like the 3rd or 4th time now that I've seen where everybody's going in one at a time while the enemy team is collapsing and fighting with 3, 4, 5 members. Interestingly enough, their team is losing turrets here. So what you guys are doing isn't the worst thing in the world, but you're throwing away your advantage slowly but surely. Kalen's getting more fed, and the Lux is getting more fed as well. The Lux, in fact, is now doing better than your mid lane. In fact, both your mid lane and your AD carry are now behind their mid lane and AD carry. You're the only person on the team that's actually fed. This is a big issue. And I'm not sure how much of this is on you. It feels like, I mean, right there, you made a mistake. You sat in this bush when you didn't have, like, you saw the Vi over here. You knew the Caitlyn was here. The numbers weren't in your favor. You needed to bail. Like, this is the thing. Like, you guys would win right now. Right now, so casually. If your team simply grouped as 5 and went bot lane. With the supers pushing down the mid, the supers pushing down the top. Like, this game is over if your team just groups bot lane and pushes. Enemy team needs to invest people to defend against these 2 inhibs being down. This, I feel like, is a tactical error. Like, your teammates are just keep getting caught out one by one and dying. You guys are not getting any objectives for this. This is one of those times where I think communication would have been critical. Like, this is one of those things where you needed to just push. Just absolutely... This is one of those times where, like, in this case, like, you can't necessarily control your allies, but I would have. Once these 2 inhibs are down, ping towards this turret and say, push bot as 5 together. Or, if your teleport's up, I'd say, everybody push bot as 4. I'm going to push top lane. Wait. Wait for the right moment, and we just take the inhibitor for free. I mean, another option is obviously go for Baron once their team is forced to defend against the supers, but once again, this just feels sloppy. This feels like a game where just a little bit of macro play would win. And right now, I can see how this game is going to be a loss. The enemy team's now coming to defend against this Baron. They're going to wipe your team out. I can feel it. You guys are about to get wiped. Or? Yeah, your team's about to get wiped out. Oh my god. You didn't re-trigger your R. You pressed it too late, and there it is. There's the slaughter I was talking about. They killed all 5 of you. You were very close to killing the Caitlyn, but there was one mistake you made there. You needed to be spamming your R, because you got her below X here. In fact, let's look at this in slow-mo, just to point it out. So let's watch this. First of all, I think this was a little bit too aggro. Because again, your team is not strong in the team fight. You guys are all low. One person just died. Here you go. Wait. So let's watch this. So now let's look. Bam, 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 bam. Now you could execute it. Right there. Right there you could have executed. Then she got the Yuumi heal, which brought her over the threshold. You actually had a moment there, a brief moment. It would be so nice if I could actually see the execute threshold bar, but I'm almost certain. Hold on, I do want to check. I want to be sure that I'm not off on this and not just giving bad advice. So let's look at that. I will pause it. Let's see. He died while executing, yes, but what I'm saying is he could have gotten that execute off earlier. So let's look. There, yeah. 398 out of 1529. Oh, she's just above. She's just above 25%. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. I'm mistaken. Never mind. You actually executed her at the first moment you could. My mistake. Ignore what I just said. Ignore what I just said. But I do feel like in this case, like this, oh man, what a mistaken priority from your team. In this case, like the only way that you guys lose is if these inhibs come back up and you guys haven't taken it. That's the only way you guys lose. Because as, like, this is just, man, this is so hard to watch. This is a game where literally, like, about 5 minutes ago, the game was over and you guys won. You actually no longer needed to interact with the enemy team at that point to win. Because all you needed to do was essentially group up bot lane, let the supers push mid and top, just stay together as 5, Be at full health. Force the enemy team to decide, do we care about our Nexus turrets or do we care about this turret? That's what they're going to need to choose. And sooner or later, that choice is going to become a painful wall crushing in on them. Because somebody's going to have to step out and defend this turret sooner or later. And then you guys walk up and take this one. Look how much health it has. It's free. Once this turret goes down, you take the inhib and it's over. The game's done. 3 inhibs down. You don't come back from that. The mistaken priority was for some reason your team wasn't grouping. You had this huge advantage. Your team wasn't grouping and your team wasn't looking for the objectives. This game isn't a game where necessarily you made the mistake that cost the game. This was a macro mistake. This was like so many mistakes from your team. It's just not grouping up, just not going for that objective that's going to end the game and win it for you. And now you guys are going for a proper win condition. Oh god, the bar's missed his bar. Oh my god, the Garen didn't die. I don't know why she's Sonya's. Oh, man. Gotta eat for it. Yeah, it's over. It's over. This game's done. It's just done. Now you guys can't even get this dragon. Once again, two people are fighting here. No one is nearby to help them. There's no reason for them to be fighting. It's so bad. You guys can't win with this sort of scattered fighting. Everybody needs to be together. Everyone needs to be fighting together. You need to frontline for your team. Your teammates need to rely on that the big scary Urgot front line. Like right there, your 2 squishiest champions, your 2 carries, are fighting alone against the Garen. They were winning, sure, but they were alone. They could never win any follow-up. And even if they killed the Garen, it still would have resulted in a massacre. Damn, man, this is hard to watch. I've been in so many games like this where literally, the game is over, but the team's just throwing it. And I hate Yumi too. I hate her very, very much. Though she was nerfed pretty hard. Should upload these coaching sessions to YouTube. I used to do that, so I will. Absolutely. I mean, at this point, to be honest, I don't think you guys can win anymore. Yeah, this game's over. Let's look at the gold now. They are now up in gold. More importantly, their 80 carry is 15k gold. Their 80 carry is richer than you. You were 4k richer than anyone on the enemy team. Now their 80 carry is richer than you. This game's over. It can't be won. I think you're doing the smart thing here because there's no way you guys can win by grouping anymore. And getting an inhibitor is at least something. But this is one of those times where you really needed Ghost if you wanted to survive. The U-moves was nice, but it wasn't enough. Damn, man. Oh, this is so hard to watch. It's watching a train wreck in slow motion. It really is. I think I can basically conclude the video at this point because I already know what's going to happen. And I can tell you this, like, overall, I think you made really good decisions, Dragon King, with how you played Urgot. From a mechanic standpoint, I feel like you did well overall. You had good decision-making overall. There were moments where your micro was a little off, like timing your E. You had a couple times where you did it well, but there were definitely a few times where timing it well would have just been an extra kill. I think there were a couple of moments where you went a little too aggro when you didn't have allies nearby. And when you were fed, that's fine, but later on, the enemy team had picked up kills, and you did it then as well. When you didn't have backup from your team, and their team did have backup. Right there, I feel like you had an opportunity to catch either the Lux or the Caitlyn with your E with the turret up. You potentially could have gotten a kill on that. I think it was a mistake throwing your R at the Garen. Because had you simply... Oh, no, you're... Yeah, you got it. I don't think it would have made that big a difference, but I feel like had you used your E when the turret was still at half health, and you were in the front and Lux was there, you could have caught her and killed her. Again, I don't think it would have made a difference at this point. Their Caitlyn's the biggest threat. Oh my god, she's gonna live. But yeah, no, this was a game where macro decided it. This is a game where if this were at my ELO, you guys would have won. Because the team would have done the macro thing. Or most of the time, obviously. This sort of mistake, this sort of poor macro play happens. Damn, that's too bad. That's too bad. Well, thank you, Dragon King, for submitting that game. It was fun to be able to do another coaching session. I haven't done this in so long. I forgot I really enjoyed it. But damn, that's just so unfortunate. So unfortunate. Let's look at the gold graph. Yeah. Look at this. You guys had a 6K gold lead at 18 minutes. You guys took all their inhibitors here, right? Or were they down here? It looks like here you got both inhibitors. At 21 minutes, the game was effectively over for the enemy team if you guys simply grouped up and went for objectives. After the second inhib went down, you guys could have grouped up, taken Baron, and then gone bot lane. Or you guys could have done a 4-1 split where you send 4 people bot lane, you go top lane. The 4 people just push the wave. That's it. They don't need to do anything else. They shove the wave into the tower. You threaten the Nexus turrets. The moment they send 3 people for you, which is what they need to send, then your team pushes the bot lane inhibitor and takes it. If they send 5 for your team, then you just take a... You either teleport in, use your massive weight to win that team fight, or you take the Nexus turrets and end the game. There were so many win options at that point, but I feel like your team, and in some part you as well, didn't go for the macro play. Damn, that is rough. You guys should have won. Let's agree to bot lane. Yeah, this was definitely a game where your bot lane was the weak link. Your mid lane made some silly mistakes, sure. Your jungle made some silly mistakes, sure. But overall, I agree with you. This game was basically your bot lane. I mean, look at that. 9 and 21. Your mid lane had a huge lead against the mid lane early. I think your jungle was also doing well against their jungle early. This was a game where the enemy Caitlyn just scaled up, got items, and then they grouped. They played exactly how they needed to in the mid and late game. You guys dropped the ball. Your team dropped the ball. Again, I don't think this is a game where you cost it, but I think there were some things that you could have done to potentially force this game to be a win. Like I said, spelling out what the win condition is, typing it to the team saying, hey guys, go 4 bot, I'll go 1 top, wait till they react, then take the inhibitor. Or how about we go for the Baron at 20 minutes? Because you guys could have. There were things that, like, I think this was part cockiness, that your team was like, shit, we're up so much, we can win no matter what we do. And then they just keep going in one at a time and dying. There was definitely some cockiness there. And some of that cockiness was on you. But overall, like, you were the team carry. You played overall excellent. I don't feel like this loss was on you. But I do believe there was things that you could do to make this loss not a loss. And I think most of it involves talking to your team. Pinging for your team what to do next. If they don't listen, then that's on them. In which case, it's like, at that point, it is literally completely out of your hands. But you had the option potentially to ping bot lane, tell them, hey guys, group 4 bot, or hey guys, I'm going to push bot lane. You guys 4 press for Baron. Because that's the other thing you could do. With teleport up, you easily could have done that. You could have pushed bot lane. They need to send at least 3 people to stop you. You're up 4K gold. There's no single person that can deal with you. It takes at least 3 when you're that fed. You go bot lane, you force the issue. With only the inhib turret up, and with it only having 30% health, if they don't send 3 people to stop you, then you take it freely. If Garen's the only one there, you ignore him and you take it. Who cares? What's Garen going to do to stop you? And then once the turret's down, you kill the Garen. Easy. And then your teammates, again, they ward around the Baron area. They wait. They wait until the enemy team sends too many people bot lane, then they take Baron. The game's over at that point. How can they stop a 5-man Baron push bot lane with them when both mid and top inhibitor are gone? This game easily was a free win at 21 minutes. And it's too bad that some poor macro decisions led to a loss.